us and welcome to the channel. So, Megan conducted an interview with the New York Times. Here it is right here, and it says here inside Megan's real kitchen, away from the cameras, cooking with the Duchess of Sussex as she navigates her rebrand from recovering royal to domestic goddess. Now, this is a pretty long article. Let's look at it. And it was published on April 2nd. Okay, it's pretty long. Let's just look at how long it is. It is long, honey. It is long. So I am going to spare people by reading it all out. And what I want to do is just to go through the important parts of the article. See how long it is? It is a very long. So basically, the article, let me go up to the top, was centered around Megan's grandmother pudding that she made, which she named now after Lily, calling it Chantilly Lily. Okay, banana pudding. So um, it appears that the interviewer, her name is Julia Muskin, long writer, food writer for the New York Times. It seems like she went to Megan's home and she got to see Megan's real kitchen. And she says it looks pretty used, so which means that Megan has been using her kitchen for sure. She also mentions that she had a condition for being, well, Megan gave her one condition, that she could not take any pictures of Megan's home because of security reason. So she set some boundaries for her. She said that Doria was there, and it seems like Doria was part of the interview as well, since the recipe that they will be talking about, the banana pudding, came from Megan's grandmother, who is Doria's mother. Okay, and I heard the grandmother's name is Jeanette, and Megan talked about her take on this pudding. You know, she talked about how she liked the wafers in the pudding. She liked them crumbled as opposed to how some people just layer them down. She liked them in her particular way. Um, I don't see why Megan is being worried about what people are going to say about how she is making her take of this banana pudding. Some people have traditional ways of making things that is passed on from generation to generation, and they want to keep it that way. Good for them. Some people have certain things that they like, and they can add that thing that they like to the pudding, or there's certain things that maybe have come with this traditional way and they decided that they don't like it and they can remove it from the pudding. So if anybody has anything to say about how Megan makes that pudding, let that be on them. Go, let them go and make their own take of the pudding, okay, and put on their own social media. And the only thing they will not have is anywhere to talk about it, okay. So Megan has that platform. She's talking about her pudding, and let people talk. Who cares, okay? So they talked a lot about With Love Megan and how the backlash that it received. And they also talked about how some people came in defense of Megan and thought that the show, you know, was beautiful and it had a lot of sunshine and joy in it. And there were some people who criticized the some of the utensils and the things that Megan used in the show, like the recusette pot that Megan used, talking about it was outrageous that she was using this pot set, and a lot of, women of color would not be able to relate. And that caused a lot of women of color to come out and say, wait a minute, y'all are not putting us down like that. We use Le Creuset pot sets as well. Okay, we can afford it and stuff like that. So that was good on them to show that women of color, they have the same thing that other women have as well. Okay, so she did talk about Megan is not a trained chef or anything like that, and she understands that, and she's working towards her craft and so on. And she did say that Megan seems to know her way around the kitchen, and she knows how to use the material that she has. Look, she says it here. She said here that she knows her way around. A vinaigrette is quick with a lemon zester, and depth with a knife. So she said Megan knows her way around the kitchen. And yes, and Megan has a lot of enthusiasm about what she is doing. She's excited, she's happy, and she did talk about, the fact that Megan is doing that. Megan has to make a living. Okay, and Megan talked about how she's always worked from the time she was 13 years old. So this is not new to her. And before she met Harry, she was a working woman and so on. So they did talk about how the items on Megan's website, as ever, they were all sold out within 1 hour, honey. 1 hour. And they did talk about the price range of the items and so on. And they did talk about how Megan's jam was labeled a fruit spread, to the dismay of Megan because of the FDA regulations. Also, too, they talked about how Megan was going to be doing her podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder, shortly. And they also talked about Megan's products that she had on ShopMy, which literally some of the products were sold out in no time. And here they're showing all of Megan's products, which are now sold out. And, you know, they went in a lot talking about with Love Megan, and the reception that the show received from some of the public and people on social media and so on. So here they talk about the Les Creuset drama and so on. And here's another picture of the last episode of with Love Megan. Megan did talk about her time growing up and being a latchkey kid, how they ate out a lot and so on. And they did talk about Daria being a travel agent. Look at Miss Daria, being a travel agent and working her way up, going to school and became a social worker. Isn't that nice? Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. So they also talked about the viewership of With Love Megan, how it had 2.6 million views, and also that it was in the top 10 in 24 countries, as well as the second season of the show that is coming in the fall. Okay. And yes, it was a informative interview, and yes, I loved it. I certainly loved it. Here's an adorable picture here of Megan in, of course, this looks like Time. Is this Time? Okay, but anyway, she's in her garden here, looking absolutely beautiful. Yes, 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 yes. So, yeah, so even Harry made a little shot appearance in here where he passed by and he told Meghan that he was getting on a business call and so on. And they talked about how Meghan, has always been interested in cooking. Yeah, they talked about she used to make dinner parties in Toronto when she filmed Suit and so on. And how um, you know, she started her lifestyle blog, The Tig, and taught Harry, she taught Harry how to roast a chicken. And in particular, it was Ina Garten's perfect roast chicken. Okay, to be specific right here. And they talked about her Together cookbook that she did and what Tina Brown said. I don't even want to mention Tina Brown because Tina Brown has gone rogue on Meghan and quite rude, for matter of fact. So I don't even want to bring her up. I don't know why they brought her up in this article. Okay. So yes, Megan talked about her grandma and how her grandma was, planting things in her little garden in their hometown. I think it was in Crenshaw. Not too sure of the place. I don't see it right here. But how her grandma was able to plant her own little things in her yard and cook in this cast iron pot. Megan said she would love to have that cast iron pot. Her mother now has that cast iron pot and she would love to have it. And they did say that Megan has two pizza ovens in her kitchen, which she already doesn't really use. She said, here it is. Her kitchen is equipped with, or her house, they said, is equipped with two pizza oven that are mostly dormant, which means that she doesn't use as much. And she attempted to make sourdough bread, but she said it was both boring and traumatic enough to send her back to bakeries. So she, whatever the experience was, it wasn't good. So she's now buying bread again. Okay. So, yes, and she did talk about what is in her fridge mostly right now. She said here that when it's just her and the kids for dinner, she said she often relies on chicken nuggets, which the kids just love those things, veggie burgers and tater tots. That's in the freezer right now. It's stuffed in the freezer and so on. So, a long interview, and the chantilly lily bread pudding was, the conversation was around that. Okay. And yes, it was nice. Okay. Yeah, she says, my mom still has Grandma Jeanette's cast iron skillet, she whispered to the interviewer, and she says, that's what I really want. Okay. So it seems like they were talking about let me go up here. So it says here, Miss Raglan said she still wasn't convinced that she needed a hand mixer of her own. She has a KitchenAid stand mixer at home in Los Angeles. And the Duchess rolled her eyes at her mother as daughters do. So I don't know, something in the conversation here, but Meghan said what she really wants is her grandma's cast iron skillet. Long interview, so it ended there. See how long it is, and this is the archive version. So the version that is not archived would have commercial, would have all kinds of things in there, as we see with articles online. Oh my goodness. Yes, 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 yes. So things like this I would like to put on my website, which is coming very soon, inspired by Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. And guys, what do you guys think of the interview? Let me just scroll it up. So if you want to read it word for word, you can read it word for word. Let me scroll up so you can read it if you want to read it word for word. Here is the banana pudding right here that they were talking about, and this is the archive version of it, if in case you want to read it and you didn't see the video that I posted earlier. Here it is. And here are the ingredients and how to make it. Let me go back again so you can look at it as I scroll right here. So this is the archive version of, yeah. Let me see if I could read the comments. Let me see the comments. Also, no comments. Somebody said here, I'll make this. Somebody said, I love this pudding recipe. No store pudding. Yay. Try it tonight. Just amazing. I love it. Okay. And it's so far 5 out of 5 stars. Very good, Megan. Well done. Okay. So, guys, tell me what you think about the article and Megan's, um, what she had to say, basically. Okay, so I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.